To a story that's sparking a lot of debate this morning, and a lot of expecting moms wondering, what do I do with this information? President Trump and Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. now warning against taking Tylenol during pregnancy, claiming that it could be linked to autism.
Now, the claim getting a strong response. Jalissa Garza live in the newsroom now. All right, who's chiming in? What are they saying?
Hey, good morning. Well, this is all about the main ingredient in Tylenol, acetaminophen, which for decades has been considered one of the safest options for treating pain and fever reducing during pregnancy. Now, that's because other common pain relievers like ibuprofen and aspirin are already discouraged in pregnancy due to the risk of miscarriage and birth defects. But now that the president is publicly linking acetaminophen to autism, major medical groups and the makers of Tylenol are pushing back. Tylenol's maker, Kenvue, issued a strong response stating taking acetaminophen does not cause autism. We strongly disagree with any suggestion otherwise and are deeply concerned about the health risk this poses to expectant mothers. An infectious disease physician and former CDC leader also spoke out on CNN.
I think listening to what we heard tonight, I'm concerned that the only person who the president is listening to is Secretary Kennedy, who has a long history of mis and disinformation, really equating vaccination with an etiology for autism. So there is no evidence that supports those assertions.
President Trump said the FDA would be notifying doctors about a link between Tylenol and autism shortly after the FDA released an open letter to physicians suggesting they consider minimizing the use of acetaminophen during pregnancy for routine low-grade fevers. But the letter also included an important clarification stating, quote, to be clear, while an association between acetaminophen and autism has been reported in many studies, a causal relationship has not been established, and basically saying there are also studies that contradict that association.
Okay, so Jalissa, what does the science actually say about Tylenol use during pregnancy? You did just touch on it a little bit.
Yeah, of course. So a major study published last year looked into 2.5 million children in Sweden over 25 years. So that's a long time to conduct a study, and it found no link between acetaminophen use in pregnancy and neurodevelopmental disorders in children. Still, despite the pushback, Secretary RFK Jr. says Health and Human Services is going to launch a nationwide public awareness campaign to warn families about using Tylenol during pregnancy, which, as you said, can, cause some mixed reactions from expecting mothers. But of course, we'll continue our coverage of this coming up on KG11 Plus, where we're going to hear from families of children with autism and also a doctor in our area will weigh in.
Okay, that's going to be really helpful to hear that.
Great. All right, Jalissa, thank you. Again, more live on our stream.